Alrighty folks, if you notice the title, this says The Return to the Music Mailroom. My very first video that I ever made specifically for the channel was a mail video where I opened some stuff that I got in the mail. I quickly decided that people would probably rather hear about the CDs after you actually listen to them, because I buy lots of stuff that I've never listened to before, rather than watching you open the mail. But I've seen lots of videos lately of people opening mail, and people seem to like them. And I got a nice big fat box here from eBay. Yes, I am promoting eBay because it's important once I get through the story that you be able to find these guys. This is all from one seller. Now there's a website, there's a channel on YouTube called New Wave of British Heavy Metal. He was promoting an actual record label called Obscure NWOBHM, New Wave of British Heavy Metal, but just the abbreviation, Obscure NWOBHM Releases. That's the actual name of the record label, and they are out of Greece. So I was looking into it, and you know, some of it's pretty pricey. I mean, this is a small record label. They do like 600, 500, 300 pressings of these albums that they put together. And of course the shipping from Greece is ridiculous. But they have an American distributor. I will first, where they do have a Facebook page, Obscure NWOBHM Releases, but where I found these CDs at first, it's called, the website is onreleases.bigcartel.com, and from there I found their American distributor on eBay, and they're called Heavy Metal Museum. And of course this is all going to be the death of me, because I love New Wave of British Heavy Metal. I love obscure New Wave of British Heavy Metal, and this is some obscure heavy metal. And I didn't even scratch the surface of this stuff, honestly. I was afraid to go any further. I was already knee deep in the hoopla, and I had decided I needed to turn back before things got ugly. So first I picked up Wulf, Lurking in Fullmoon. Now I have heard the name Wulf before, and I have, see if I can do this without stabbing myself. It's all fun and games until you put somebody's eye out. And this album cover actually looks familiar too, but according to them, I might just be dreaming. So these all look really well put together. And I'll read you a little bit about the band here too that's on the release page. This looks like some quality stuff. I bought 5 of them because the Heavy Metal Museum has flat rate shipping. And even though the CDs were kind of pricey, I bought 5 of them, and then with the $6 flat rate shipping. Where's the back if I didn't show that? Made it pretty reasonable. But let me click on here so I can read to you a little about Wulf, because I'm not going to try and pretend like I know much other than just the name. And I don't know if that picture's taken from somewhere else, but it looks familiar. It says Wulf were a new wave of British heavy metal band, NWOBHM, between 1982 to 1985, had a strong fan base and gigged constantly, earning a reputation of a ferocious live act blended with down-to-earth humor. They recorded some songs but never managed to release them in any format. Their anthology plus bio and photos for the first time revealed. That's Wulf. Lurking in Fullmoon. Then the next band up, definitely never heard of these guys. Clientelle. Live history, 1980 to 1984. This is a 2 CD set. I'm assuming it's all live. Another really nice packaging here. There's that. There's that. Here's your back there. And no, in case you're wondering, I'm not getting anything from these guys. I just really like new wave of British heavy metal. And I like people that promote this stuff to be successful. So I want you guys to check them out. See if there's any. This is extensive history on Clientelle. Never heard of that. Never heard of Clientelle. Looks like they were at Hammersmith with Hawkwind a couple of times. Yeah, kind of a weird name too. Clientelle. The double L's, the British way to spell clientele. Let me read this little history. Hopefully this isn't too boring for you people. But if you like new wave of British heavy metal like me, it's fairly interesting. Clientelle, one of the most legendary bands of the movement. Clientelle were together for 6 years and 9 months, and during this time they played 227 gigs, including a tour with Hawkwind and slots with Saga, Y&T, Roy Wood, Stray, Motorhead, Magnum, Angel Witch, and Lionheart, to name a few. For the first time, the band opened the vaults, and we present you their live history during the period 1980 to 1984 and a double CD with 12-page booklet and unreleased songs. There's Clientelle. Now, have I heard this next band? I don't know. It's kind of a generic name. But it is Weapon. No Peace Till Hammersmith. It's fun for me opening this stuff. I don't know how exciting it is to watch me open this stuff. Hopefully it's not terribly boring. Hopefully you like new wave of British heavy metal enough, or just music in general enough to find new shit interesting. Yeah, and I did not go into so much detail in my first video long ago, but they were, I'm pretty sure that none of those were new releases or from any notable new website. Looks like they toured with Motorhead at Hammersmith Odeon also. With a picture with Tigers Pantang, or Tigers Pantang logo behind them. Weapon, No Sleep Till Hammersmith. Let me click on these guys real quick, see what's going on with them. I have read all this, but it's not like I memorized it. Weapon is a heavy metal hard rock band from London, England that was formed in 1991 under the name Fast Relief. Shortly after, the band changed its name to Weapon and released one legendary 7-inch single only. In the autumn of 1980, they had the chance to open at the Ace Up Your Sleeve tour for Motorhead. Here on ONR, with great pleasure and honor, we present for the first ever time the legendary live recordings of Weapon from that tour. The CD will come out in a limited edition of 500 copies filled with photos and info of that legendary tour. Expect a top performance as always. So there's Weapon. All right, next band. I couldn't tell you if I ever heard of these guys or not, but I definitely don't know the spelling. If I did ever hear them, I didn't know their name was spelled like this. But we have Denigh, Fire from the Sky. Not the best album cover in the world. Cut this off here. Alrighty. I'm trying to go through this quickly. Alrighty. But these are really well put together. I mean, you would not think these CDs were released from a small label. That's a really cool band shot right there. I mean, they're really nice. Booklets aren't flimsy. I mean, the jewel cases are really sturdy. Artwork's sturdy. Great photos in here. I mean, some of them are loaded with text, so they obviously did their homework. I'll be interested to break into all these. And then I got one last one here, and it's not popping up right away, so let me try and see if I can find this real quick. If not, I'll just go straight into it. And it's not gonna look like it. Okay, so we're just gonna go into this one. This one, it's new, but it's not sealed. So this one is called Radium. This Through the Smoke / live in Nottingham. So I believe this is a compilation of stuff that they released. I said I couldn't pull this one up that quickly, so I didn't want to bore you any further while trying to, very cool looking album cover there, trying to look through the website. And like I said, the website is onreleases.bigcartel.com, and that is for the European friends out of Greece. And then I bought these from Heavy Metal Museum on eBay, which is obscure NWOBHM releases, American distributor. So yeah, I never heard of Radium either. Yeah, there you go. I have a feeling these websites are going to be the death of me. I mean, the only thing I love more than new wave of British heavy metal is obscure new wave of British heavy metal. And just glancing at the website, it looked like there was plenty to look at, which is why I got in and got out, because I feel, thank goodness I moved my foot on that one. Alrighty, so there is 5 more from the official return of the Metal Mailroom. We'll see if I'll continue to do this or not. Maybe just on big packages like this one. Appreciate you guys hanging in there. Have a good one.